friends, welcome. So today we'll be watching best Indian weapons in the world. So isn't that a really interesting topic? So friends, before we go ahead and watch this, if you're watching us for the first time, make sure to subscribe and click the bell icon to get notified of all the videos as soon as we upload them. And after watching this video, if you like it, then don't forget to hit the like button and share this video with your friends and family. So, okay, friends, without wasting much time, let's just jump into this video and let's watch it.
10 Indian weapons that shock the entire world. India is one of the most rapidly growing militaries in the world. They have evolved from a regional force with tactical capabilities to a growing strategic force with global reach. Here are the 10 weapons possessed by the Indian Army, Navy, and Air Force that are among the best in the world. Number 10. zero noise levels, and can accommodate 80 personnel. India invested over $900 million in the development of Chakra, in return of which Russia leased it to Indian Navy for 10 years. US, France, and China are the only other nations with nuclear-powered submarine. Number 3. INS Vishakhapatnam, destroyer. On 20th of April 2017, the Indian Navy launched its latest and by far the most powerful and advanced stealth destroyer ship called the INS Vishakhapatnam, once christened as an Indian naval ship in July 2018. INS Vishakhapatnam will be the most advanced Indian destroyer warship to sail the battle waters. The 163-meter long and 7,300 tons heavy devourer will have 8 supersonic BrahMos anti-ship missiles, 32 Barak 8 long-range surface-to-air missiles, multifunction surveillance, threat alert radar system, and the twin-tube torpedo and rocket launchers. Number 2. Sukhoi Su-30 MKI. The Sukhoi Su-30 MKI is a super-maneuverable twin-jet air superiority fighter developed by India's Hindustan Aeronautics Limited, HAL, developed from the Su-30 MK. Here I stands for India after it was modified to fit Indian war needs by French, Israeli and Indian avionics in collaboration with an aim to create the ultimate Su-30 variant for India. It can load up to 8 tons of weapons, and soon it will be getting fitted with BrahMos and Navy cruise missiles. Number 1. BrahMos missile. Compared to other missiles of the same category, BrahMos has 3 times more velocity, 3 times more flight range, 4 times more seeker range, and 9 times more kinetic range. The current production rate is said to be 100 missiles per year. Also, the missile guarantees pinpoint accuracy with hypersonic speed throughout the flight. The whole BrahMos project is expected to cost $13 billion.
So very good video, and very nice to see such good weapons that India has. But one thing, as you will see, that many of them were procured from Russia and then further advanced. So
But some were also like ones that, they were saying that India has made it on their own.
DRDO. Yeah, so defense has definitely, the primary technology has come from mostly Russia, and then we have taken the technology and put our own creativity in it and making them even better weapons. And even the BrahMos which is number 1, was in collaboration with Russia. So I mean, as we can go back in history, and you'll see that during the Cold War, Russia was with India and US was with Pakistan. So all the weapons India used to get from Russia, and Russia was at that time pretty strong and pretty advanced in weapons. Even today, although the USSR has been split, and Russia still is a very huge country, and still when it comes to the weapon production, they are still, I think, number 2. And yes, I mean, the US budget is still very high nowadays compared to the budget of Russia. So Russia slowly is probably, I would say, lagging behind just because of the budget numbers. So eventually the technology is moving faster towards space, artificial intelligence, and the new technologies are coming that are beyond these conventional weapons. Nuclear technology is obviously pretty key, but it was very good to see any country that has to progress will progress in this manner only. First, you have to acquire the weapons, then you have to, as they say, reverse engineer them, and every country that gives is going to try their best so that people can't reverse engineer, but it is doable. So eventually everybody is going to reverse engineer, figure out how they have made it, and make their own systems that are superior to what they bought. And obviously, I mean, there have been many cases where US has sent some drones or some kind of aerial vehicles that fell down in China, right? And then there was a lot of force by US to return back those things. And what did China do? China said, sure, They opened all those drones and all those weapons. They broke them into parts. They did the reverse engineering. They figured out what the technology was and then sent it to the US, all those broken pieces. So they said, yes, we are returning it to you. So they were spy material. So they were spy drones, surveillance devices. So that is what I mean. So China was more like, okay, we have caught your stuff, we will return it, but
We'll study it in
but we
depth
are not
first.
saying we are going to return it in one piece. So we are going to study it. So they studied it, they looked at the technology, figured out what they could, took pictures, broke it down, and then sent that wreckage or broken pieces back to the US. So the point is, every country has to do that. And obviously, one thing to understand is that NASA is doing a great job, because India is looking at the future. How the weapons, conventional weapons are okay, they're on land, they are on sea, they're in air, but then there's a different category of weapons that are in space. So if you want to do damage from the space, you show something out, and you will see many movies where from the space they throw the projectile and done. So you don't need any person dying over there. It's not like thousands of tanks are going over there and fighting at the border. These are conventional weapons. It's good that conventional weapons are great, but even better are nuclear, and even better are the nuclear weapons delivery from space. So that's what all the race is about, that there's a space station. And although nobody knows exactly what's going on, but every country will have some kind of military use in the space where they can fire nuclear weapons or whatever from the space and move on. So the world is, and obviously there was a term that whoever controls the artificial intelligence, the 5G networks, and the space in tomorrow will be the winner, because these are the technologies that will beat conventional. Conventional, what we do with conventional, when somebody fires you from the space, their stuff is in the space. So even if you try to destroy, now people say, okay, I'm going to send my airplanes, and airplanes are going to go and destroy your arsenal, but the arsenal is no longer on earth, now it is in satellites. So if you want to destroy, you'll have to send something to satellite to destroy their satellite. So that's why. And can a cruise missile go to the space? Probably not. So there will be different technology that will be needed to go in space and do all the damage. But very nice. And every country that is strong today, other than, I would say, US and Russia, has done the same. You buy the weapons, you understand them, and you make something even more stronger. And once your economy becomes great, then you do your research and you create something great. Right? How did US create such great weapons, or Russia create some weapons? Because they were advanced in their economy, and they were able, and they were pushing lots of money and research via their budget into these systems. And US also has systems where they look at all the kids that are being born in the United States, and they keep checking, where are my brilliant people. If suppose there's a kid who's very brilliant, then the school itself will highlight that this is a brilliant kid, and then government approaches them and gives them great jobs, and they are doing research in cryptography, they are doing research in covert operations. So they are looking into their manpower and saying, okay, these are the kids who are really brilliant, and the government gives them a lot of position, a lot of power, and takes them under their control. And you would see that there were many times a movie where they were showing that there is going to be a nuclear war or something. And what did US do? The first step was take all these good kids in schools. Everywhere they have identified, the government has already identified in the database, and nobody knew. Government has already made a database. These are the children that are super bright. They're the first people to protect. So they send people to take all these kids, and they take them away. Whatever happens to humanity, these kids and these scientists, these doctors, great people of every profession, they take all the great people, even religious people are great, kind of priest. So all the historian, so they take all the great people from everywhere and they take them away and put them in a safe place, that even if there's a nuclear bomb, this is not going to die. And we want
So the human race.
So the human race. So look at the thought process that has gone in. And obviously, as other countries are growing now and the money comes, they will put a lot of energy in research. They will take the best minds of their country and say, okay, go join NASA, go here. They will identify in schools that this kid is great, he must go to NASA, or he must go to RAW, or he must go to somewhere. And that is how countries begin. So very good video, and India is on a great path, and that's why it was very nice when they said that India is very rapidly accelerating. That is true. As India is rapidly growing, the fastest economy in the world, and I hope it remains fastest economy in the world. Obviously, if the economy is growing faster, all that money gets channeled into various things that are going to take India ahead. So fantastic video.
Yes, friends, really amazing. But what I hope and wish is no war. We don't need weapons.
Yes.
Everybody lives in peace. I know it's like, you would say it's a dream, which is not going to be possible. I wish it was a situation like this, and no country had to spend so much of money on war weapons and stuff, but use that for the betterment of humanity.
Right. And we need to realize that India has never attacked any country ever.
Yeah.
So all these weapons that India has are for defense.
Yeah.
Because one thing that we have learned from history is that because of inferior weapons, we lost. Any war you look at where the invaders came from outside, they number one had the larger numbers were in India itself, but they were not united. And the number two was that the weapons were not that superior. Example is British. British came with guns and people had swords. So with swords, how do you fight a gun with a sword?
Exactly.
So because they had done research, they had stronger weapons, you had to lose.
Yeah,
there was
because
no
you
way.
have to protect yourself. That's the reason
Right.
that we are making weapons.
Right.
But with no intention of conquering others. So guys, we hope you liked this video, and I'm so glad that India is making such great achievements, and we've got brilliant minds. And we've recently watched certain videos where we did reactions that ISRO's achievements have been, highlighted, and it's doing an amazing job. So guys, we'll take your leave and we'll come back again in another video very soon. Till then, take care and bye-bye.
Oh, and if you're new to my channel, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and hit the bell icon so it notifies you when I put in my new video for you to enjoy. Bye!